Thank you. Good afternoon. I know it's close to lunchtime. We hope to serve some appetizing conversations. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for making it. Looking forward to a great discussion. I'm Abhijit. I'm part of PwC. I look after topics of customer experience across industries. The travel, hospitality, and real estate industries are quite exciting for me right now, specifically for the fact that these industries are actually hundreds of years old. In fact, starting from inns back in Europe in the 1700s to real estate being there, I don't know, forever, I think, and so on. But what's happened is that the rise of digital specifically has allowed these industries to morph in a very specific way. Within these industries, we see that we have new innovations that have allowed the reduced asymmetry of information, more visibility, improved experiences, not only on the customer side, but also on operations. And finally, there are innovations that drive trust. And what's that done is, for incumbents, going into D2C is no longer an either or. It's an imperative. And then there are the rise of new digital challengers who really challenge these industries. So today, along with the panel, we're going to explore that. I'm quite excited. Just to kick things off, let's start from the consumer side. A lot has happened in the last 3 years since COVID has come in. I want to get a sense of the perspective from Sripad, Yashraj, and we can start with Saravanan. On how do you think in these industries the consumer's expectation or the consumer behavior has changed? Saravanan, you want to kick us off?
Yeah. Hi, good afternoon. Saravanan here from Fortune Hotels. With regard to customer behavior, I think COVID has changed them to more on their personalized experiences because it has given them an authority to manage the entire world from their handheld, which was actually new to the hotels 3 years back or 4 years back. Though I know luxury hotels used to do it, but business hotels, we didn't do it. So by the time we understood, so we have to, not to survive, but to thrive in the new environment. That is how we moved in. And our company, we have given a lot of focus for customer to experience his stay from his palm top, that is his phone. That is where we were looking at it. Second one, with regard to reviews, what earlier used to be a more manual one, it became a digital. So we have to get into reputation management. That is where once you give a feedback, when guest gives a feedback, if you are going to review it and answer it back, so I think your rating goes up. So the entire feedback system has changed. That's a change what we have seen in our company.
Yashraj?
Hi, good afternoon everyone. I'm Yashraj from ANAROCK. We are biggest real estate consulting in India for anything that it is real estate. The way we have seen the consumers have changed from 2020 and onwards after the COVID is 3 things that has specifically changed. In the mid-income segment, there's a philosophy that has come in that YOLO, you only live once. So the people have started traveling, people have started investing in real estate, people have started, making those properties that they dreamed, that I will do it after 7 years, 10 years, do it today. So that's the one behavior shift that we have seen. The other behavior shift that we have seen is earlier people were, compromising on the smaller homes, but after COVID, people have started optimizing and utilizing the larger spaces, and that's the demand comes in. And that's where our predictive analysis comes into the picture, where we utilize our ANAROCK's patented tech, which is one of its kind in the world, where we predict the behavior of each and everyone in the room and, more than 1 million of customers that we have in our database, that what kind of properties you may expect to come after maybe 5 years and to use it for the next 5 to 10 years. So that's the kind of a real estate cycles that are in. So that's what the large consumer behavior that we have started, seeing those changes happening, and that's the driving force it is.
Sripad, you're from the travel industry. So at ConfirmTkt, how has your perspective changed on consumer needs?
So hi everyone, this is Sripad from ConfirmTkt. So we are an online train ticketing company. So especially COVID, right? I think travel was the most affected. I can say I think I remember the March 2nd week, all the trains are halted. I mean, people were in the complete lockdown, right? So one thing which has happened when slowly things are moving and lockdowns has been lifted. So trains were first one to open. So they have shut down all the train counters. So as there is no other way to book, right? So people, they directly shifted to the online platform. So the online adoption, it has actually jumped from mid-50s to somewhere around 70s. So currently it's if I take the 2022, 2023 stats, it's almost close to 80% of tickets in India are actually booked online. I'm talking about the train ticketing. So that is one shift which has happened. And other thing is so people are more concerned about the uncertainties now. So what if I get COVID? What if if the train get cancelled? So they started actually thinking from that perspective. So there are the two primary issues. I think that there are other smaller things also, but these are the main things which I want to highlight.
Got it. So essentially, consumers demand more and more out of both the bang for the buck, but also the kind of experience that they are looking at. And it's tremendous that you're building this in. Now, when you think about digital, the business metrics themselves have changed quite a bit. The focus of business on figuring out what to look at, what to strike first, what to strike second, and so on is quite important. So Kahraman, I just wanted to hand it over to you and get your perspective on what are the metrics that matter? What does success look like?
Hi, Kahraman. I'm co-founder and CEO of Olive Living. We are a brand agnostic, tech-enabled hospitality management platform. We have 4 of our own brands, mostly operating in economy and budget segment, which is very operating expense sensitive segment. And the cities are built on mostly plotted developments where they are 40 by 60 square feet. So that can only give you a 15,000 square feet building, which is only 35 to 40 rooms. And because you're operating in the budget segment, so we're operating with very limited resources. And bring the pandemic on top of that, we launched 2 of our first hotels in the second day of second lockdown. It was the Delta wave, and I think it was one of the worst. But everyone was locked up. We couldn't travel to properties, limited staff. We are operating at 900 rupees a night in those days, and mostly actually we were servicing long stay guests in those times. So, how do you build a profitable business in a small property with 900 rupees of nightly rate? So we had to innovate, and actually, video conferencing became part of our lives. And as soon as the pandemic came in, so we said, and when we look at the receptions of these small properties, at the night shift, you still have to man the reception, but you have to have 2 people, 1 door, 1 checker, or 1 acts as a reliever. And just to give a comparison, the efficiency that we've been able to drive is, we did a partnership with Zoom. We centralized all of our receptions, and now we have a 27-inch screen at those receptions instead of receptionists themselves. And we invented a job description called remote receptionist. So in our office, we have a mission control center, and Aditya, we work closely with the Hotelogix on our PMS. So we basically centralized the receptions to 1 computer, where we are managing 6 receptions from 1 station. So we've been able to, centralize and remove 11 staff, and 1 person is doing the job of almost 12 people. And that created a lot of efficiency, but also on the back end with audio and video analytics through artificial intelligence, we've been able to migrate majority of the mid-level management's responsibilities to the camera system and the business intelligence unit over there. So I mean, we're doing facial recognition, gender detection, brooming, mopping, fire detection, weapon detection. I mean, on brooming and mopping, let's say we can give the rule saying that Kahraman needs to mop this area with 120 strokes between 1 and 2 p.m. with a face mask on. It reports. And actually, we're able to measure how many mops each staff do. So let's say, Drew is mopping 20,000 strokes. Siddharth is mopping, and they're my partners, they're here, so I'm using their name. They're mopping 20,000, and Kahraman is mopping 15,000, so he's underperforming. And there's no manager who's going to be able to tell you that. Yeah. So by that way, normally in our segment, most of the hotels operate with 0.7 staff. We've been able to bring that down to about 0.3. And I think in the industry, we have the highest situational awareness. So, and that resulted in the highest owner's return in the sector as well. So, and in return, now that's resulting in exponential business for our company. I mean, at the moment, we are at 47 locations, majority of it is in Bangalore. We just expanded to Goa, we're expanding into other markets, but now this, I think, that disruption is there, and the efficiencies that have been able to drive out of it, and, has been incredible. So I think, now going forward, someone said nothing happens in decades. Sometimes a week happens in a week. I mean, so decades happen in a week. So I think, pandemic induced that kind of change. So it's quite exciting. I think, these technologies are quickly going to get adapted, and I feel, what we've been able to achieve can benefit the whole industry. So we're seeing that, in five-star hospitality, you might have 2 to 3 staff per room. So you have an abundance of staff available. And with that, having a self-checking kiosk is a nice to have amenity, but you don't really need to have that. But on the other hand, what we were kind of conscious about is, how much to automate. I mean, today we can have the AI basically running the operations. I mean, there are brands out there who are doing room service with robots, and you have AI concierge. But I think all these tools are enhancing our ability to deliver an exceptional service. So I think human element always needs to be there. So what we are calling ourselves is we're high tech, but also we're high touch. And I don't think never really want to remove that human element. But what happened is, I think the mundane tasks, reporting, operations, assigning a ticket, the elevator is broken, or your diesel generator fuel is running low. These are done manually to a great extent, which I think can be replaced by artificial intelligence, where we can really focus on the type of service we deliver to the customer, and how we pass on that emotion, and how we bring in the empathy. So anyway, I gave a long answer, but I think the efficiencies are there.
Got it. So one thing definitely is create the right place for creating efficiencies within the customer journey and in the operations of your thing. And it's interesting that you said that, you want to maintain high tech, but high touch. So you don't want to take the human out of the loop. You want to make sure that the human touch is there, but you still have technology, leverage, drive more efficiencies in it. Aditya, I want you to build on that. And perhaps you can also give us some idea of, why this high-tech revolution has really happened, and what were those underlying factors that really helped us do that?
Well, to start, I'll say that Olive Kahraman has 47 locations. So post this session, whosoever asks the most interesting question to Kahraman, he can get some good discounts at Olive. Yeah, so that should keep everyone awake. To give you a very short answer to that. See, what happened during COVID is that the realization that everything needs to be digitized, right? That set in, and once that realization set in, there were the mid-market hotel industry, I can speak for the hotel industry because we provide tech solutions to hotels, mid-market. So they basically started to move away from systems or they were on pen and paper, they started to use systems so that they can start recording, they get digitizing there. That was their first step towards digitization. People who had already digitized to an extent, they went to the next level where they said, okay, I want to digitize the whole journey of a guest. Earlier, they were probably just recording a few things here and there, right? So the whole realization that digitization is the way to go is, set in COVID, and it just fast-tracked the whole technology adoption, at least for this hospitality industry and many other industries, I believe. So, if you go to a restaurant today, you see QR codes, right? You go to a hotel today, you see beautiful, pre-check-in experience, post-checkout experience, everything getting digitized. But in effect, what is happening is that every move that the traveler or the guest is making, it is getting recorded somewhere, which is what is being used to create a lot more applications, So if you look at Digi Yatra, what did Digi Yatra do? It basically used DigiLocker, right? Once the base things get digitized now, beautiful applications come out of it, and that's what we are seeing. We're seeing with the brands like Olive, utilize multiple tools now, but if the whole thing was not digitized, probably they wouldn't have been able to do much about it, right? So that's where I think the major shift has happened, where this mid-market, which caters to the volume, right, has started to think about digitization, technology adoption, playing with data. They saw, that during COVID, whenever there were lockdowns and there were windows when markets would open, air travel was still not happening, but it was the driving distance travel that was happening, right? And then they were in a soup because they did not understand how do they attract guests from around. They had not kept their own historic guest data in a manner where they could say, okay, which are the guests who had stayed with me earlier? And how can I remarket to them only? Because they are the ones who know my property, right? So all these at multiple levels, realization set in, right? So that's, I think, a fantastic, and we sell our solutions across Southeast Asia, Middle East, Africa, and I can for sure say that India is the front runner amongst these countries in the way they are adopting technology, in the way they are looking at digitization, in the way they are using application where we've just set up a, it's called Kafila for SaaS companies with UAE. They are now just beginning to think AI, and India already has AI-based applications. Prompt engineering is a word that they have started to read about it, but India has developed multiple applications around it, right? So I think we are in a very good space. Our technology is being used and applied. It has got fast-tracked. India was never known that we would basically adopt technology fast enough, right? But post-COVID, there is just a humongous change in the way I look at it.
JP, your bill.
Hello. Yes. Thanks. See, the way I see through the things, most of people are going back and still want to remember COVID. Why I feel saying COVID is way back. So in COVID, what we have seen across is there have been a lot of acceleration of adoption of technology or digitalization, which has happened. And that has fast-tracked the stuff. So today, in today's context, I think anybody and everybody want to be relevant to the new context and the consumer. So normally, the way I look at it is digitization is like an oxygen, but personalization is like a water. So you require both of things to be relevant in the current game. So I come from a startup which we started off, Viacation is a company that we started off, which is a phygital company. So now we no more define or influence the consumer behavior in terms of which channel he want to come. I am going to be omnipresent as well as I allow consumer to choose what he want to pick right? And today, over a period of time, I think when we are speaking about, I'll go to our context, but the first question that you spoke about the people, I think the major changes that we have seen across in people was safety, hygiene, exclusivity, and the very fact is being close to nature has become the major changes that we have seen across while people are adopting anything, be it travel, and even if you look at food, people are going back to the organic stuff. So everywhere you're seeing people going back and adopting something which is close to nature. And everybody is looking at a pure experience. At the same time, people want to pay you money for the value for the stuff. Now, the major stuff which comes across with the consumer, with our kind of companies, is how do we become relevant to the context? How do we provide the experience seamlessly, not only while selling, but making buying and selling easier for consumer, because too much of information which is widely available right now, it sometimes confuses people. What is important is how you correctly put across stuff, because every consumer has a different way of utilizing the same product, right? Somebody want to have the same destination, if I may speak about, like for instance, without any kind of a grudge, if I look at for Dubai, a young guy will look at utilizing this utility of this destination as a party destination. A family will look at a recreational destination. And somebody who's going across with us about people with a 60 plus, they will look across somewhere down the line, relaxing destination. So everybody have a different utility from the same perspective. Now, with digitalization, the only thing which become easier is people to make the decision become easier, right? And you've been able to display your product far easily to consumer and make sure that there's a right connect between what people are buying and what you're offering. So the error of margin has gone down. That's what I see as a major benefit of this stuff.
Got it. So quite interesting. So first utility and then desirability in a way. So I think I just want to move on and switch gears a little bit, and now I'd love to get from the panel a sense of what kind of innovations you have driven in your own organization that uses the power of digital. And we spoke about a lot of consumer trends. We spoke about the new business metrics. We spoke about automating and pointing digital in the right way. So I'd love to go around the horn and just get your sense of some of some groundbreaking innovations that you think are key and perhaps is a harbinger of these oncoming disruption in your respective industries.
What we have done in an organization, we divided into three stakeholders. One is the owner of the hotels, because he's coming out of really a debt from zero we are starting again, because his asset has become just a building. The second one is our own employees, where 10 people used to do the job and now only 2 are available to do the job. The third one is the guest. We call it as guest and you call it as customer. So he is completely changed, a different traveler altogether. So when we had these three tasks in front of us, we have to make some business sense, because with Fortune Hotels, we are an asset-light model. We have to make strategies which need to develop a good, profitable business environment for the owner who has invested money. So we have worked out on the front of the house and the back of the house. That's how we call it as. Front of the house where the guest feels it, and back of the house where, because until we don't keep our employees happy. So we digitalized most of our operations, whether it's going to be an audit or it is going to be guest feedback system or a guest request system. We have digitalized everything. So that has actually removed a lot of worries about the manpower. Then with regard to the building management, we have used a lot of IoT solutions, for example, sewage treatment plant. That's the last thing which in a hotel will look at it, but yes, it used to be managed by people and today those people are not available. So we have installed an IoT solution to manage your building. Then when it comes to the customer, the guest, he's buying milk online. So he is not going to pick up a phone call and call for his room service or a towel. So he needs everything on his palm top, and he needs his menu in a QR code, because that is what he's used to it. These are all the three areas we have divided and we have worked out. But yes, we have not completed yet. because it's a large organization, so we are still work in progress. Might be on a future, we need to bring in more of these things. So my message to all technology people is, please don't take hotels as a last resort for your technology, because this is going to really change and we are investing money into it.
So from our perspective, I think travel is primarily being an intangible product, right? Unless you go and buy a car, you have an option of test driving before you experience it out. So our idea is, because there's always expectation gap. So the technology adoption like AR, AI, and with virtual reality, and the basic things like putting across things where people can actually have an experience of seeing a product, what they're going to consume, that's what we're trying to put across as to bridge the gap between expectation and reality. And we've been seeing consumer coming back and having a very good experience, because while on your tour, the only thing that you have is a limited time. You've already put in money, right? You cannot come back and relive the experience again. So that's a bit of thing, the simplest stuff that we've adopted. And second thing is speed, the way which we respond to people, right? Whichever part of the world the people are, if they have any challenges, because you are depending on a third party, transportation, hotel, restaurant, everybody is third party, and they're bound to be an error which may come across. The idea is, how do you bridge the gap in the minimum period of time? What is the response? I think these are two areas that we've been able to put through. And third is, I think our business is purely about people. We don't want front end the people who've been actually having an experience or been interacting with the consumer. So we've been trying to put across decision making easy for them and make them to take a decision on their own, rather than coming back on the chain to come across and do the stuff. So with technology, with the stuff and all that become very easy for them to take a decision immediate. The response time is easier.
So I mean, as COVID brought in uncertainty in the people's mind, right? So we brought assurance product kind of thing. So what does it do? Like, I mean, in India, like out of every 100 tickets, like 25 would get cancelled. I'm talking about the train ticketing. So people lose money there because there might be many, reasons for their cancellation, right? So we thought of like protecting it. So on our platform, like if you book a ticket, you will be able to cancel your ticket up to like 2 hours before the chart preparation. I mean, 2 hours or 4 hours, it depends on the train to train. So this has actually like transformed the customer experience a lot. I mean, so people have that peace of mind. And the other thing is like, I mean, especially like in terms of the train ticketing, so people would be from multiple backgrounds. So most of our transactions are like 80% are UPI and about like 7-8% is like debit card. So most of these people, they don't come from like having loans or the credit cards, right? So for them, like timely refunds is something like which is need of the hour. So we saw people who were like, when I expect my refund, so that like I can book my onward journey, right? So to address these scenarios, almost like 80 to 85% of our refunds are on the same day or instant.
Today, that's 2 months on IRCTC website, isn't it? What's the...
Not 2 months. I mean, ideally, like, it depends on the payment. If it is like UPI, then it is like on the same day. If it is a credit card, then it is like 3 to 5 working days, kind of.
Okay.
So in ANAROCK, what we have done is, starting from the consumer who put up the first inquiry through Facebook or Google or any medium, the first response time, typically that is, probably the most important. Earlier it used to be anywhere between 2 hours to 5 hours when the inquiry will be generated you get the response from the team. What we have done this is, we have made this entirely innovation change in our system, where now when you put up an inquiry in one of our ads, you will get the call back in just less than 30 seconds of time. So it put all the salespeople that it is there in the team, whoever is the free, they will all get the similar notification, and whoever is the free claims that lead, basically. So that's part one. Part two is, with the use of AI and ML, what we have done is, we have put each of the source from where the leads are coming, right? we have our internal mechanisms and our internal algorithms in place where we can predict whether this customer is a serious buyer, whether this customer is a jaywalker, or whether this customer is going to one of the competitions currently, or whether this customer is, maybe going to take the decision in this 3 to 6 months journey or something else like that way. And that helps when our team does the follow-up with those customers. And that really changed the ball game for us. The third part is the visualization of the spaces. Currently, everybody sitting in Bangalore, we can literally show a property in far end of, let's say, Karnataka or the Maharashtra coastal areas, and you will able to visualize the property, visualize the location, make the payment, entire transaction, your agreements, allotment to the possession. We have streamlined the entire thing done. And now we are moving one step further where you're able to trade your property, resell your property in the platform itself. So you may not even need to go to the registrar office or, to the local brokers and the buyers to do that. So that's the entire innovation in real estate space. ANAROCK is the first one to do it. And now all our, developers who are, taking our services are getting the benefit from the platforms that we have.
Fantastic.
Hi, I'll limit my answer to from a D2C perspective, right? So, see, as solution providers to hotels, what we are focusing on now is basically 4 stages of a guest. So one is someone who's looking, he should be booking. Someone who's booking, he should be checking in. Once he checks in, and he checks out, that what is that journey, and once he checks out, he should be rebooking, right? So this is the kind of cycle that we are focusing on, and everything that will be on the platform of using Gen AI platform, we would be innovating on that. So let's say, for example, simple use cases that can I provide every hotel customer of mine with a chatbot that can answer every damn question that the guest has on their website. What is the distance from your railway station? How many cricket courts are, grounds are around your property, whatever be there. And Gen AI can answer actually everything. Yeah, so how many rooms do you have? Whatever, right? So this is a looker whom we want to convert to a booker. And now with Pay at Hotel, where you do zero cancellation fee, a booker is not necessarily going to check in. So from a booker to a check-in, what is the kind of pre-check-in experience that we can have? We can provide as an infrastructure to our customers. That is one area. Oh, you're coming in, you're coming to my leisure property. Okay, how do you want to, I see you have a 3-night stay. How do you want to spend your 3 days? Are you a night party person? Or are you someone who wants to go to visit historical places? Goa offers both probably, right? This could be your itinerary, something like that, as simple as that. And then from checking in to checking out, what are his points of engagement? And from checking out, how are we engaging again with him? So this is an area that our next journey we are going to focus on using Gen AI platform to see how we can deliver better value to our customers.
Yeah, I'll try to keep it short. I think everyone's hungry. So I think, I resonate with what everybody said. And even what we're doing, migrating mid-level management responsibilities to artificial intelligence is amazing. It increases a lot of efficiency. But, it's a mundane task being replaced with machines. In the Industrial Revolution, machines replaced manual labor. So I think, that's what we're seeing. Mid-level management, AI can do a better job there. But I think the exciting stuff is happening at the reception. How we interact with the customer and, what we're doing with the video conferencing technology. Zoom has a Firefly AI note taker where we're able to get the audio script of that conversation, and, we're able to give it, rules saying that, my AC is broken. I'm not happy with my room, or, this happened, that happened. So, we're able to analyze thousands of conversations, right then and there. And, we have the agility, I mean, we're still putting the tech to use, and technology is there, but putting it to use, I think, is the harder task here. So that brings incredible response time where we can actually enhance the guest experience. And I think what is really exciting is if we are able to manage a property reception in Goa from Bangalore, what is stopping us to cross the border, to go abroad and start managing hotel receptions abroad? I mean, manage a bed and breakfast in London. And, over there, they're struggling to find staff. It's £20 an hour. So, I mean, over here, we are sitting at the Silicon Valley of Asia, the outsourced capital of the world. So I think, we don't need a visa to export top Indian hospitality talent or a plane ticket globally. So, I mean, I can see this is going to happen, and, we are at this. So, I mean, it's really exciting. I think, this 2024 is where all these technologies are going to become public knowledge. I think, it's today contained in certain pockets, but it's already happened. So, I mean, it's really exciting to get it out there, and thank you. That was me.
So all those who have walked out lost out on the discounts on Olive. So before you go, one question that you can ask Kahraman and get good discounts on Olive. They have properties in Goa, Bangalore, many other good destinations coming up.
Thanks. Thank you, everyone. We're just going to wrap it up in the next 30 seconds. Top prediction of 2024, just very quickly.
I think I said mine already, so.
Yeah. Guest experience to the next level using GenAI.
Well, for real estate, customers always first, so everything centered around customer centricity.
Yeah, probably like ChatGPT for travel.
I think it should be healthy and profitable here.
We cannot live away without technology to give a good guest experience.